Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sumi, and I'm the owner and illustrator of the Mochi Cloud, and we do all sorts of Hobonichi and stationery related stuff on this channel. And today I have an interesting video, I would like to say. It's something that I did earlier this year, and I've kind of been putting off talking about it. I converted a Hobonichi weeks. This is the standard weeks, by the way. This is the 2022 Inuyasha weeks. This is not even for the new year. This released in, I believe, 2021 of October. It was part of their Japanese manga classic series for the year 2022. And I actually have a spring version of this. And I had purchased this thinking that I'm going to be using this as my Japanese language learning journal, but there had been a few bumps along the way, and I talk about it in depth in one of my earlier videos. So if you would like to see that, do go check that out. I will link that up in the cards. But those plans fell through as I'm using another journal for that. But I wanted to use this, and I had also considered wanting a journal that I can keep for a longer period of time. And that is why I decided to convert this into a 7-year journal. And I just wanted to say, before I get into it, a big disclaimer: this may not work for everyone. I have my personal reasons as to why I did this on this specific Hobonichi weeks, which I will talk about it in a bit. But if you do want to learn about how I did make this into a 7-year journal, stick around and I will show you. So the reason that I don't recommend everyone using this method is because if you are somebody who likes to write a lot, this might not work for you. It works for me because I currently have a daily journal that I use for my planning and journaling, so I don't need to write way too much in my 7-year. I just use it as a place to jot down things that I just want to see, how the days have gone throughout the year. So, and another one of, I will say, a very selfish reason for me to convert this weeks into this kind of a 7-year journal was because I absolutely love this cover. I feel like Hobonichi did an amazing job with this week's cover. This has a clear cover on it, but even without the clear cover, you can see the holographic detail, very similar to how, if you're aware of the Inuyasha series, the Shikon jewel, it's it's beautiful. That's I don't even have words to say anything about it. It is just simply beautiful, and I was really happy when I got my hands on it. All right, so let's get into how I have converted this into a 7-year. So I do also have the weeks style pencil board from Hobonichi, from the Inuyasha collection itself. So let me give you an idea if you're not aware of how the weeks is. You can see that the weeks has these weekly pages, and of course there are some blank pages or grid pages in the back that you can use for journaling or writing notes. Now, every week page has these tiny dots that you see that you can actually use for splitting your day. And same goes on this side as well. So what I did to make this into a 7-year is I kind of looked at this layout and thought that this horizontal section that we have here, we have 7 slots here. And that made me think that, if I really wanted to keep this for 7 years, this is actually a good layout. The only thing is I need to make sure that I have enough pages in this to accommodate 365 days of the year. And for that is where I split each of these days into, these slots right here. So if you look at it, what I've done is I have taken, let's say, and you can ignore these dates on this side. I know that there is some work that you're going to have to put in to actually achieve this. I have split the days like so. So the first day, January 1st, goes here. January 2nd, January 3rd, 4, 5, 6. And the remaining section that's there on this side, I have just used it to write the year. So when I'm completed with 2023 and when 2024 January 1st comes along, I can just write in 2024 here and start filling January 1st and so on. So when I did this, and this is I did have to do a little bit of pre-planning. You can see me write down the numbers in pencil just to make sure that I have sufficient pages to cover 365 days. And I'm happy to report that after a few of the weekly pages are complete, you will reach up to the 6th, or rather the 8th blank note page for you to complete till December 31st. So this many pages is what it's going to take me to complete 365 days. And this seems like really functional for me, because if at all I have more things to write, like for example, if I'm on February 24th and I realize that, this small slot is just not enough for me to write. And this is despite the fact that I already have a daily journal. There might be days where I just have a lot to write. Maybe something really eventful happened that day, and I want to keep a track of that in my 7-year as well. So what I've decided in that case is I can just put a sticker on here indicating that I have more to talk about, and just use one of these blank pages that, we still have. We have these many pages left, even after using the 365 pages. So, and it's not, it's totally up to you whether you can use the pages or not. I will, if I'm not using the pages, or if I don't want to go into too much detail, I can always use this like as my art journal. I tend to doodle a lot, and it's just something that I can keep chronologically, as it's just a system that I can use. But the ultimate thing about this is I really like this setup because it allows me to still keep a track of how my years went, and also the fact that I'm doing this, I know I'm doing this in something that I'm not going to get tired of. And I think the Inuyasha weeks, because it is really personal, I wouldn't say personal to me, but since I love the show and the manga quite a bit, I don't think I will get tired of seeing this cover. I just love all of them. So this is why I think this is working for me. And another thing is, I feel like this is extremely portable. Now, if you look at the regular 5 years or even the 10-year journals, I think there is a 10-year journal by Midori, you would see that they're pretty thick because they are intended to actually give you 365 pages and quite a lot of additional pages for you to write on. And because of the fact that it's so large, it will end up, becoming hard for you to take with you if you are traveling or if you are even moving countries, what have you. So I don't know. That is one of the reasons why I have put off from actually using a 5-year journal, which is, made by Hobonichi or even Midori for that matter, because that size really intimidates me. I already keep a daily cousin, and that itself is really hard for me to take with me when I'm traveling, even though I do take it. If I had to take another 5-year with me when I'm traveling, I don't think that would work. I will have to either give up on the 5-year, or I'll have to give up on the Hobonichi cousin, which is my daily journal, to do that. So that is one of the other reasons why I think this system works really well for me, which is why I said in the beginning of the video that this might not work for everyone. But I think this is a kind of a good workaround if you do have Hobonichi weeks, especially from previous years lying around. You do need to make some adjustments for this to work. You will have to ignore all of these things, which might not be easy for some people to do. And like I said, I was pretty selfish when it came to the Inuyasha weeks because I wanted to keep this for longer than a year. And I think that was one of the biggest driving factor for me to actually convert this into a 7-year journal. So I think this system is working for me so far. I'm a little ahead in February. I'm actually filming this on the 7th, so I do need to write my entry in here. And one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is what I am actually writing in it. The only thing that I'm writing in it is basically what I was doing that day. If there was something that happened, like for February 5th, it was my anniversary, my wedding anniversary. And I also give an indication of where I was at my location, basically. So I was in Tampa, Florida. So this is an interesting way to look at things. So if you are traveling, which I intend to do, it would be interesting for me to write which place I was at. So if I'm traveling to another country, I can just write that in. And it would be nice to see, along the years how things go, because maybe, next year if I am, let's say I was traveling somewhere and I will just realize, oh, I was here last year at this time. It's just an interesting way of looking things. And that's the whole point of having a journal that is intended to be kept for a longer period of time. It's just that I needed it to be extremely portable because I really cannot lug around a Hobonichi cousin and another journal along with me. So that's pretty much it. And this is the Hobonichi Weeks Inuyasha collection. I'm not very sure if this is still available. If it's available, I will link it in the description below. I do have a clear cover, like I said. Hobonichi does not recommend putting a clear cover on this because the holographic material can transfer onto the clear cover at, like really humid situations. But since I look at it every day and this is sitting in my desk, or even if I take it out, I'll just make sure that it is completely kept in a cool place, or I'll just try to keep it as cool as possible because I do want this to stay for 7 years. I hope you found this video useful. I was certainly trying to find a use for this journal because it's something that is very near and dear to my heart, and I just didn't want to sit in a box without being used because I feel like it would completely defeat the purpose in that way. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you like this. Let me know if you want to see more of these kind of videos, and I'll try to find more functional ways of using the Hobonichi planners. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.